Connor, first of all, the breaking news, as you've heard, about potentially that fight between Joshua and Miller being cancelled. How you've reacting as a boxing fan yourself?
Well, I just heard it when I got to the gym this morning. I can't believe it. The biggest night of your life, biggest fight of your career, and, you know, you get tested positive for a banned substance. It baffles me. When
you see boxers at the top level concern themselves with these sort of issues, especially this close to a massive fight, I mean, does that not concern you as a professional in that field?
Well, my nutritionist, I'm not even, at world level. My nutritionist has a go at me for taking vitamin C tablets if they've not been tested. So the team he's got round him should say, listen, check all your substances. You're earning a few good quid here, and why put that to risk?
In case you guys didn't know, they're trying to find an alternative to get this fight made between CONNER BENN and CHRIS EUBANKS Jr. And Mike Coppinger comes out and he speaks on this, and he's not saying nothing that's not new, but it's always more potent when somebody closest to the game says something versus, somebody like me or somebody else, because it's viewed as rhetoric and we don't know what we're talking about and whatever and whatnot. Okay. Look, when it comes to boxing, and this is for the boxing fans, we need to understand and get it drilled into our brain. Boxing doesn't care anything about cheating. They have shown you this over the years. Okay? They have shown you this with Manny Pacquiao. They have shown you this with Canelo Alvarez. They have shown you this with Evander Holyfield. They have shown you this with Big Baby Miller. He shouldn't be boxing right now. They have shown you this with Antonio Margarito. Margarito should not even have been allowed to box again after you lace up your damn gloves, because you could have killed somebody and you cannot take that back. And to show that you have low tolerance and no tolerance for cheating at all, when somebody does something like that, they don't get another fight. That's not how that works. Keep in mind, boxing is the same sport that was trying to convince you that Tommy Morrison HIV test was an accident. These are the same people that told you that the so-called heart issue that Evander Holyfield was having was also an accident and he was misdiagnosed. They do not care. You have to find that out. But they have not cared. Look how they have treated Tyson Fury, and just him cheating off the previous stuff that he's cheated on, and just the whole glove situation. You remember me telling you, exposing cheating in boxing is taboo. You're not supposed to do it. You have to figure this out by now, okay? So you as boxing fans know, and even up and coming boxers, when they tell you to protect yourself at all times, they mean that literally, not just in the ring. I mean, it's actually a life lesson, but it's not just in the ring. You have to protect yourself all the way up into the fight. When you sign that contract, you got to protect yourself all the way up into that. Because one thing's for sure, boxing is not going to catch cheating. They're not interested in cheating. You just had Oscar Valdez test positive and still fight. So what do we know for sure? Boxing doesn't care about cheating. It pretends like they do drug tests for us, but they don't really care. Boxing is just like professional bodybuilding. Bodybuilders are still telling you that they're natural athletes still to this day. And it's a well-known open secret that they take steroids. Point blank and period. It's the same thing with all sports. And I said this, if they take steroids to play golf, then that means they take steroids for every other sport that they take steroids to play golf. I don't want to hear about how much skill it takes, because that's not what I'm talking about. I want to talk about when you have a group of people who walk to the next hole, you know, and have to have some torque, of course. But that's supposedly what strength training and stuff is about. So if they do it for that, it's for all sports. And the fact that they're still trying to find a way to make this fight happen lets you know everything about this damn sport. They don't want to catch no cheating. They're not interested in catching no cheating. Nothing. This is why Chino Maidana can sit up there and take a pill in the middle of a fight and nobody say something. Canelo taking pills at weigh-ins that mysteriously nobody knows what they're for. We haven't seen it before or after him. They're not interested. This is the most crookedest sport on the face of the earth. They're not interested in catching anybody cheating, because as you see, once money's on the line, people going to turn a blind eye. So do you know ultimately what that means? When you're A side, you can do steroids. What you're able to get away with in boxing depends on how much revenue you're bringing in. You can duck fighters, you can duck mandatories, you can duck VADA testing, you can duck all that. Hold on, let's not stop there. Remember, Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman wasn't drug tested for their fight. And Keith Thurman said, and I quote, Manny Pacquiao can take as many steroids as he wants. Why would he publicly say something like that if the man didn't have a well-known open secret that he takes steroids? Now, a lot of people are fanboys, so they're going to get caught up on whose name I said. Oh, you said Fury. Oh, you said Pacquiao. Or you said throw that shit out. Because it still doesn't affect the bottom line of what I'm saying. And that's actually what they depend on to be able to do it. Oh, I don't want you saying this about this fight. I don't want you saying this about... Because even boxing knows that fans will turn a blind eye and make up excuses for their favorite fighter if they are caught cheating. So therefore, we really don't have to punish them because their fans don't want them punished anyway. And that's also part of the problem. Not wanting to believe somebody cheated because they look like you, because they from your city. You know, because y'all had the same religion. I don't know what it is. You know, whatever you want to come up with. But one thing's for sure. This is a foul-ass sport. Period. Hey, look, I want to see the sport too. But CONNER BENN should know if any fight was going to be drug tested, if anybody's going to catch some drug tests, if anybody was going to be on it, it was going to be on for this fight. All these people who get caught cheating, and yet we're still going to get more people who get caught cheating. Why do you think that is? That means if we were operating as far as the law terms, that means your penalties is not harsh enough for anybody truly to respect it. That's all I got for now. Like, comment, subscribe. Bruce Van, I'm out.